same shit he does with horses. They just reuse the AI for traffic in Cyberpunk. Very lazy from
Miss
that.
the place?
Extremely lazy.
Yes. Just
Save
look at the
moves.
view. Breathtaking. The perfect background for our masterpiece.
Pretty, I guess.
Now, you must carefully consider in what pose you wish to be immortalized.
All right. Considering.
All is ready. We may begin. Have you decided on the pose you'd like to adopt?
On a horseback, heroic. Reclining. On a horseback.
How about I be on horseback? I mean, Roach kind of deserves to be immortalized too.
Oh, yes. A horse. Exceptional idea. But I would rather you perch atop Alexander, my mount. I've trained him to pose.
No. No.
I shall paint in the carcass of a slain griffin later. Now, raise your head to exude pride. Thrust your breast forward. Go on, breast forward. I want to see those hocks extended. Ahem. Is the horse paying attention? May I begin? Or would you rather try a different pose?
No, I don't want to do it without Roach.
Let me try something else. Maybe I could just stand, sword in hand.
Ah, splendid! A heroic pose, of course. The bold warrior, his sword held aloft, ready to run at the... well, that willow over there. I will paint in a griffin later. Shall I begin? Or would you prefer to adopt another pose?
Let me try something else. Think I'll lie down. At least that way I can nap while you work.
The hero at rest, lying on his side, propped up on an elbow, staring into the distance, relishing a victory. I can paint in a griffin corpse later. Though, naturally, a nap is out of the question. We resolved that earlier. May I begin? Or would you prefer to strike a more dynamic pose?
Heroic. It's gonna
Let
be
me try
heroic. I
something
would take the
else.
one with the horse if it's Roach, but it's not.
Maybe I could just...
Ah! The bold red shall I be?
Yeah, I go for it.
Go ahead.
Now, be so kind as to adopt that look you gave me when I first asked you to work with me. That intense scowl of an angry wild ram about to butt heads. Yes, excellent. Now, hold that. Do not budge.
This gonna take much longer?
Not much at all. We'll run out of daylight soon. Please, keep your head still, in the same position.
Fine, I'll try. I'll also try to remember to never trust a painter again.
Griffin!
Yeah, I know. You'll paint one in later.
Gods! A griffin!
Run and hide.
Dearest mommy! Ah!
Ah, yeah, Griffins don't give a fuck. Man, come here.
Is it safe?
Yeah, come on out. And no wonder no one ever came here. It was a griffin's hunting ground.
Oh, that thing scared me to death.
Not quite to death. You are alive. Not least because you chose a witcher to sit for you. How's the painting? It survived too?
It did. But I cannot show it to you now. I never display unfinished work. You can see it tomorrow, after midday, where we met. I shall display it in the market square. Oof, monstrous beast. Shall we immortalize it in the painting?
Yeah, let's add it. Carcass can serve as your prop.
Splendid. Interesting color palette. And the textures and the proportions. It will do. Yes, it will do. But I shall paint it in later, in my atelier. There's an excellent illustration in the Encyclopedia Maxima Mundi. I fear this specimen is, well, too far cut and chopped. Ah, very well. That will do for now. I shall polish the details later. No point struggling on in this fading light. Ah, I almost forgot. Payment for your troubles. And I thank you for saving my life. Though, in doing so, you did also save your likeness. For posterity.
Portrait of the Witcher as an old man. Wait one day to see your painting. Painting in the market.
Here in Beauclair, all's right and fair.
Where's all right and fair?
Greetings.
Geralt, there you are. So, our painting. Are you pleased? Is it to your liking? Do tell.
Not exactly what I imagined. I believe I posed with all my clothes on. Clearly remember that, in fact. Some other details are off, too.
Invalid as a criticism. I depicted you in a more flattering state. The painting has drawn crowds, aroused a great deal of interest.
Can see that. Anyway, some advice for the future. Warn your subjects about your intentions. Your next model might not be so forgiving.
You don't like it. I'm hurt. Perhaps you'd care to buy the painting. Given our rapport, I shall take a loss. For you, I'll part with it, I will, at a special price.
1,000.
Why not? It'll make an interesting memento. Though I'd hardly call the price a bargain.
Indeed. Few have the sophistication to appreciate my technique. I sometimes go hungry as a consequence.
But up so no one sees it
This way
ever
I'll be
again.
able to control who sees it. Thanks.
I'll be able to control who sees it, yeah. Oh. Have I done everything there is? I think I did. I really think I did. See the quests. No monster contracts. There are some fetch quests, treasure hunts, fist fights, and races. Gwent. There's only a main quest remaining, and we're good to go. I would do it during daylight.
The Duchess summoned him. I wonder what for.
Rages. Is there anything at all here? Boravik. He lived so long he died of boredom. Vampire edges from Dandelion. Nothing at all. Go to edges.
Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
You.
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
I need 1 minute pause, take a piss, grab a coffee, and we continue from here. From now on, it's only the main quest till the end. Be right back fast.
helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it, but they can be so useful, as they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned a last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify...
Thanks for the sub, Kenshin.
Alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
How are you doing, Kenshin? What's new?
Dangerous? Why? I mean, you'll still be you, right?
True, but I should be highly agitated, in a state of fury. You know better than I that fury cannot be controlled. If you've ever seen an enraged vampire, you know very well that all who find themselves nearby will be in grave danger.
How will we handle that? I'd rather not have you lunge at me, claws extended.
That makes two of us. But worry not. I've thought it through very thoroughly. Details to follow soon.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Teshamudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
You know, I probably contracted COVID in the last 10 days, Kenshin. I'm completely out of energy for 10 days now, straight. Like I work on a 10%. When I wake up till I go to bed every day, like 10 days in a row now. What do you think of Cyberpunk? Have you seen my review for it?
Teshamudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment, a torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Teshamudna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
See no reason to dawdle. Teshamudna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Tesha Mutna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
Tashamutna.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
Sure you know what you're doing?
I can only hope I do. Please, let's go. The longer we delay, the less control I shall have of my faculties. I'd really prefer not to hurt you.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies...
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Human husbandry and care? This for real?
At least 1 more year in development. More like 2 more years in development. We'll see. Either 2 or 3 years from now, with mods, when they patch and fix everything, it's gonna be a lot better. I'm quite sure of it. But let's be fucking real, it was nothing special. Not even close to the hype it brought, okay? Not even close.
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
Champion of Tashamutna.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. Great many beings have breathed their last here.
Regis, you'll wait for me so I can check outside, eh? I really wanna check outside. If there is anything to check outside. There's not. I was hoping I can get back on the tower.
Victim's been disemboweled, intestines ripped clear out. Scurvers have gnawed on this corpse. Repeatedly.
Basilisk. No, that's a cockatrice. Same shit. Overgrown chicken. Hope the mod works for jumping. The mod doesn't work for jumping. It stopped working when I uninstalled the game and installed Cyberpunk. They reinstalled Witcher. All other mods work, but for some reason I need to reinstall this freaking mod for jumping. Yeah, Kenshi, it is a bit of disappointing. I know. Frankly, I expected a lot more of it, okay? What can you do? Shammut, nah. It's heavy. Of course, restore vitality when killing opponents. Vampire armor. But it's fucking heavy. It looks great though. It looks really good. Level 82, 85. Dear God, man.
Glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us all where we came from.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed, though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
And what's with the mask? All is heavy. And still worse than Manticore. I need to equip it. Have 6 out of 6.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlouse. We both remained in this part of the world.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
Off we go.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlouse. We both remained in this part of the world.
Whose is this glyph?
Amaran. They ventured beyond the sea.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
Man, I felt the same when I finished Cyberpunk. Same as you, Kenshin. I can finally play something else. That's a bad feeling, okay? When you don't have a feeling like I wanna replay this immediately. That ain't good for a game. Pain rules the body, fear is born in the heart. I think I'll have to examine your heart in the laboratory. Oh yeah, you played it on an Xbox. Right, right. Listen, I wanted to ask you something, Kenshin. My wife wants us to get a console, okay? And because PlayStation 5 cannot be found, and it won't be available in the next 3 or 4 months for sure. We're thinking about new Xbox. So I wanted to ask something, the Game Pass, like a monthly subscription. How many games you get per month? And what are the games you get? Do they switch them non-stop? Do they remain from month to month? How does that shit work? And is there a streaming option on an Xbox also? Loves. She got bored too because of lockdowns and Corona, and we should grab a console, I guess, for her to play something.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock, live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time, deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it, ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then. Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, sends shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
Necrophages.
This'll hold. Doesn't look like anything special.
Place what bait? What bait? Huh. How the fuck do I...
Three done. One left. Think this'll work?
I I certainly hope so.
Everything that Microsoft releases is in a Game Pass, yeah. Most games there for a few months. Most of the EA games are now in a Game Pass too. How do you want to get 3 to 4 games free? If you have Game Pass Ultimate. How much is Game Pass Ultimate? And can you pick what games you have for free? 3 or 4 games for free? I've seen that new Xbox is 20% stronger than PlayStation 5. It works better. Better frame rates. Smoother. Talk to Regis when you're ready to fight. And it's a similar price also.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent, also my head started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what did you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow. I need to smell the blood.
Fucking chaining. Is that a leather?
Good, because I can hear more coming. Hold on, I'll let you out. To hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you anymore. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
I'll check it out once I decide if I want to buy it.
Tell me how. I'll help you.
Then I'll decide very soon. 280 games on Game Pass. Nice. Nice.
Any better?
Far from ideal. and some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. Because if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture...
What would you have done?
Found Dettlaff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No, because I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told you, the pain is my way of paying my debt. The enormous debt I owe Dettlaff. If I had to do it again, I would in a heartbeat.
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
I'll show you my tea. What does it look like? You see that? That's a fucking tea, by the way.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
Do dziamo. Co to nam? Do dziamo. Do dziamo.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Dettlaff? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh?
Do dziamo. Do dzi. Do dzi.
But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates. Forgive me. What?
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Dettlaff had made friends with him. Still killed him, chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse. Cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Dettlaff I know. See anything else?
Yeah, it is Kenshin, because everyone wants PlayStation 5 here. No one wants Xbox. Funny.
Saw a moment. Delacroix did something selfless. Was kind to Dettlaff. Guess it could have been the start of their friendship.
Why the uncertainty?
Nothing extraordinary about it. Normal, everyday situation, really. Visions were supposed to issue from strong emotions.
Clearly, the situation provoked such emotions in Dettlaff. Keep in mind, he did later murder Delacroix.
Killing someone who's grown dear to us, it's bound to elicit strong emotion. Vampires are no different in that regard. Did you see anything else?
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Dettlaff first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the Port District. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Dettlaff.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with.
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest up. Be back as soon as I learn anything.
Oh, 82. Enemies are getting tougher and tougher because of enemies upscaling. The Cage of Fu. Hate is a very interesting feeling. I have noticed that people improve themselves with it to great effect. If we were to create a god as the humans have, what would he be like? This is probably the most true thing here. People don't think about the present, they usually remember old times or worry about the future.
Not now, Geralt. I cannot be mistaken without your assistance.
Let me see the quests. Only the main quest. We'll continue on the main quest then.
Drops of lo and behold,
Caught you, you little fart!
Whatever's the
Little
problem,
fart.
Cancer?
So how would you explain it? Whether
Yeah,
it
it's
goes for a week
especially
or the
beautiful in
sunbaked
the sun.
sandpipes, we've always mud up to our ankles here.
You can't blame me for Beauclair's fickle weather.
Fickle weather! I've seen you. You empty your chamber pot in front of our shop each morn, so folks will dirty their boots, go to you to get them cleaned.
A far-fetched conspiracy theory, sirs.
I'll conspire to welt your bum with my belt. Come here.
Leave him alone.
Just who the spit are you?
You know when do you realize that Witcher is really a beautiful game? When you're done with Cyberpunk. You appreciate Witcher even more when you're done with Cyberpunk. Like, Cyberpunk is 5 years younger than Witcher. And for some reason, those graphics, I don't like them, but raw edges, red, orange, gray dominate everything, okay, in Cyberpunk. Look at the colors here. Like it isn't the same dev. I don't know. This looks better. It looks 10 times better than Cyberpunk. Fuck me, man, even face animations look better than in Cyberpunk.
A Witcher, and I'd advise you to go back where you came from.
I thought witches defend men from monsters, not cheats from justice.
Need to talk to the boy.
You can chat to him all you like, after we tan his hide. So stand down.
Not gonna happen.
Won't it? Well, then we'll thrash you as well, which is all the same to me.
Oh, fuck.
Now, let's not do anything rash.
We'll break your legs in circle here!
Teach you to help scofflaws and cheats.
They got direct still. You gotta stand that close to me, do you? Jesus Christ. One more hit like that, I'm gonna drop down. Where my sword? Ah. They took my swords away. They appear now. Hussar, how you doing,
What's the meaning
Hussar?
of this? The brawl? Who started it?
I'm investigating the beast on the Duchess's orders.
Ah, yes. We've heard of you. And these men, what are they doing?
Nothing really. Had a little misunderstanding. Figured it out though.
Uh-huh, I see. As the Duchess's protege, you may go. But this lot, that's another matter.
I can't
You'll
defend
come
them.
with us. Some time in a cell ought to scare the dimwits out of you. Come on.
You're very good with your fists, sir. Wouldn't be looking for work, would you? We'd make a fine duo.
Yeah? How you imagine that working?
Splendidly. That's how. I suggest a partnership, where I see to the boots while you stand guard. And as you're the stronger, come morn you take the chamber pot out and help me make mud.
Bit about the mud's true? They were right to want to box your ears.
I've got to make a living somehow, so what say you, sir? Partners?
Let me think about it. Listen, I'm interested in a certain gentleman.
Oh, wait, wait! Before we get to talking, please, take a seat.
But my boots are clean.
In this city, no boots are clean unless they just come off my stand. A seat, sir, please. So then, who was it you wanted to ask about?
One of your patrons. Tall, elegant black frock. Not from around here.
An arrival? Indeed. I hear a faint bell ringing. A modest sum might make it sing out loud and clear.
How much?
Let's say 500 crowns.
What? Gotta be kidding me. What would you even do with that kind of coin?
Expand my venture. I'm sure you can imagine. Have a proper stand with a big sign. I want a new box too. New polishes, new brushes. And if I've enough coin left, I'll buy a share in a launderer's. Get wastewater for free.
Got it all planned out.
I should think so. Capital is all I require.
You know, this kiddo here, my grandfather, after World War II, was about his age, a kid. And he did the same job after World War II. His parents died. A lot of his brothers and sisters also died during World War II. And in order for him to feed the rest of the family, he had to work as this kid, cleaning shoes in a very small town. And that was back in 1946, 45, 46, till 47, I think, something like that. His father, my great-grandpa, had an inn that was bombarded during World War II. They destroyed fucking everything.
All right. Let's see if we can't figure something out.
Ah, see? I knew we'd clinch it.
Fine. Guess I can agree to that.
1,000 thanks. I shan't forget it. Now to the matter at hand. I know the fellow you seek, though I don't know his name. A steady patron, gets his boots cleaned every few days. He's very good to me. Always pays me a premium.
Know where I might find him?
No, but you could wait here. Perhaps he'll stop by.
Don't have the time for that. Sure you don't know where to find him? Or maybe notice which direction he came from?
When I clean boots, sir, I do not look up to see where folk come from. I clean.
It seems you're having a rough go of it.
Oh, you're here. Feeling better?
I am, thank you. The local necropolis, the air does wonders for me. Now, if I might intercede, I dare say I have the right question to ask. Young man, you see this vial? One drop added to your boot polish will help you wipe even the most encrusted boot clean as the dome of St. Lebioda's Cathedral. With it, you will serve 3 times as many patrons at a fraction of the effort, and piles more coin. I'm prepared to give you this vial if you tell me where the man we seek lives.
But you won't hurt him, will you? The gentleman's art, true, but he's kind.
In point of fact, he's a friend. Yet we had a falling out of sorts and would like to straighten matters out.
I leave his boots at the door of a house near the port. The door is red, but I do not know if the gentleman lives there.
Worth checking. Might happen on a lead.
Would you let me scrape the dirt off your kickers before you go? With all due respect, sirs, your boots could stand a cleaning.
Thank you. Perhaps later.
Listen, yeah, it's very important. I know my roots, like, for the previous 150 years or so. My great-great-grandfather was a general in World War I. Then he built that inn. And then it got bombarded. He died in the same inn. And then my grandfather used to polish boots like this after the war. And then he became a peddler. Coincidence, eh? From cleaning boots to being a peddler. And after that, he started with galvanization. And the rest is history.
Kid pretty well.
Finding the right approach. That's the trick to dealing with children.
Yeah, saw that. Meaning, the right thing to bribe them with.
Know how to listen. Just go to look
You know what? There is no shame in history, of course, but what is there for me to be ashamed of, for example? All right, if my grandpa was a freaking general in World War I, and we won World War I, what is there to be ashamed of? He survived that shit and then he died from bombing in World War II. That shit happens. There's nothing you can do about it. At least you can remember.
One that Bootblack mentioned.
At least that. That kid reminded me of the entire story. Through the toy shop.
Won't budge. Gotta break it down.
You might just as well stand out in the street, pound on a drum and holler, "Detlef, I'm coming for you." A bit more finesse, I implore you.
Let's hear your idea.
Give me a moment.
Nice. Ever consider becoming a burglar? Skill like that'd come in awful handy.
I considered it briefly, but ultimately concluded it would be terribly dull. Come.
Yeah, I get it what you meant. I get it. But I'm speaking about irony of life, okay? You survive huge shit, then you build a house, a job, and then in a matter of minutes everything is gone. Along with you, of course, but everything is gone.
He here?
In the matter of minutes. So someone else needs to start from the bottom.
He's not here, but he was here recently. His scent is still strong.
Let's look around.
Toys.
Old toy. No use to anyone. Shame. Must have brought someone joy sometime. Somebody fixed this recently. No dust mark. Somebody moved this here recently. Nice little trinket. Sometimes I think I might end up like one of these toys. Somebody fixed this recently.
He did end up like a toy at the end.
Attic, let's go. So this is his nest. Need to look around. Detlef van der Eretain, you do not know us, but we know you to be a vampire. We know also of your weakness for the wench they call Renowed. Now you know this. We shall chain her down and let rats feed on her. We shall flay the skin from her flesh. Yet you can save her. You need but travel to Beauclair, where you shall slay 5 men in the manner we prescribe. You must complete the killing in 3 days. Fail, and the next letter you receive will contain a memento of your failure. Your beloved's finger.
There you have it. Proof positive Detlef killed not of his own accord.
A blackmailer sunk his claws into him.
Any idea what it could be? Detlef have any enemies?
Indeed. Detlef gains foes occasionally, but they never live long.
One might have managed to evade him.
Possible in theory, but I know of none. It would have to be someone devilishly dangerous.
As you well know, having faced Detlef yourself.
Whoever it is someone new.
Who's Renowed?
His one-time lover. The sole human woman with whom he was very close. Because she accepted him. With her aid and care, he found a place for himself in this hostile world. She began the work that I strive to continue.
Ever meet her?
Never had the pleasure, alas. She deserted him a time before he came around to save me, though he always claimed she'd gone missing.
Why do you think that? Any signs or clues to that effect?
None to be found. Apparently she disappeared one day. Her belongings disappeared with her. Not a scenario one associates with kidnapping.
In my humble opinion, she left on her own. Scared off perhaps by a bout of Detlef's rage that revealed his other, more monstrous side.
Detlef have trouble letting go, accepting that she'd left him?
Is that so hard to believe? Do you know no humans who've struggled with just such a thing?
And Detlef is so much more emotional than most humans.
Not only was she his beloved, his lover, his mate, she was a member of his pack. And one never leaves one's pack voluntarily.
Detlef ever try to find her? I mean, if she was that important. Higher vampires have their ways, all kinds. Should have been easy as pie for him.
Geralt, as you rightly noted, we are vampires, not miracle workers. He searched for months on end before giving up. Clearly Renowed knew him all too well. Enough to cover her tracks, leave no way for him to find out.
It's not strange, Kenshin. I just believe that CD Projekt Red put more money into marketing, commercials, to build up the hype so they can sell the game, alright? They knew they had Witcher, they knew they had huge amount of people that's gonna buy the game, no matter what. So what was the next idea behind everything? It was to get new audience, okay? And everything went perfect for them. They waited and they waited and they waited. Why have they waited so much with Cyberpunk? Very simple. They found out that Witcher will be on Netflix as a TV show. And they knew that everyone that watched Netflix Witcher, will eventually find out about Witcher 3. They won't play Witcher 3 now, okay? Because there's a new upcoming next-gen Cyberpunk from the same devs, alright? They've seen reviews, and what happens? They got 8 million copies sold on pre-order. The most selling game in the history of gaming, alright? And it's gonna sell 20 million copies in a year or so. Now you're gonna multiply that with what? With $60. Dear God. The amount of money, alright? 5 million copies is, I counted that, 5 million copies is $600 million. Euros, whatever, dollars, it doesn't matter. Even if it's potatoes, it's a fucking lot, alright? And it's only 5 million. If they go with 20 million in a year, that's 4 times as that. $2.4 billion. Alright. For a video game. You realize how big that number is. Of course, they made a good choice in terms of money. Alright. Because they sold it out. And they're a winner. Pure winner. $2 billion. Just think about it. Now, take away 50% for investing, marketing, taxes, employers. They get at least $1 billion in a year flat. Alright. They don't need to make anything else till the rest of their lives. They can retire and live a good life. But they fucked us up, okay? We expected another Witcher. We didn't get it. All of the old fans, okay, like 90% of people that love Witcher were very disappointed with Cyberpunk. Because we expected more. Yeah. They lost us, but they got money. It's a good trade for them.
Even if Renowed did abandon him that time, looks like someone's actually kidnapped her this time.
Hard to argue with that. And hard to foresee what he's prepared to do to free her, get her back.
He's prepared to kill, that's clear.
As would you be for Yennefer. He kills for he cares for her deeply. And that blood, those individuals, they mean nothing to him.
Yeah, I get it now. He's out to rescue a female from his pack.
Exactly.
Right, so someone's blackmailing him. We know that. Still have no idea who. Need to look around some more.
Listen, I said 50%. It can be 40, 30, 60. It depends on the country and its taxes. Alright? So I just gave a straight number. It doesn't mean that it's correct number. But they're good for around $1 billion. Okay? Not millions, they're good for around $1 billion. That's a lot of money. They're still selling Witcher. They will sell Witcher because new generations will watch Netflix Witcher, okay? And they will continue to sell Witcher, and on that, they're gonna sell Cyberpunk for the next 10 years. It's a non-stop profit. Non-stop. Those games, they're never gonna die. And when they sell Witcher, they're gonna sell Witcher 1 and 2, along with Witcher 3. Huge amount of money, just fucking huge. Alright.
Tools were used recently. Detlef unwind by fixing toys between murders.
Really now, Geralt, must you?
Nice tune.
Indeed. I'm not certain why, but it reminds me of home. Our true home from before the conjunction of spheres.
No dust mark. Somebody moved this here recently.
Great tune.
Woman's likeness. Bit smudged. That Renowed?
I don't know. As I said, I never met her.
Reminds me of someone.
Who?
Not sure. Can't help feeling I've seen that face before, though. Nice little trinket.
I find these puppets rather disturbing.
Look, slips of paper, name on each. Count Crespi, Count Dulac, Milton de Peyrac-Peyrin, Count Delacroix.
Detlef's victims, one and all. But that's not his hand.
Must have come from whoever wrote the letter. All of it written using the same ink. See the color? Ink was dyed with cinnabarite. Rare mineral, pretty much found only in...
Nazaire. But I fear it means very little. Anyone could have imported such ink.
Fair enough. Still worth remembering.
Look, this slip is stained.
With wine. Not much to go on either. Especially not in Beauclair.
Perhaps. Yet perhaps also worth remembering.
Was it worth for money? Yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. Kenshin, believe me, it was worth it. Everything at the end of the day is about the money. For them, it was worth it. They're laughing now. No. They'll never sell anything again like Cyberpunk. They reached the top. There's nothing above it. They can only go down now.
Blackmailer. Kinda curious who it could be.
Why is that?
Regis. Somebody kidnapped a vampire's lover. Bold to begin with. Now they're forcing the vampire to kill. A vampire you yourself insisted no murderer. Blackmailer's skilled. Someone special.
Astute. Now that I think of it, I'm beginning to wonder if...
It's not one of your kind? Another vampire?
Precisely. The plot thickens.
Just a hypothesis. Wouldn't set my heart on it till we know more.
Right you are.
You know what? When I better think about it, they got their cards to play on, alright? To sell. They have something that's called Witcher 4. And if they decide to invest, they'll just think about it. Let's say during next year, you see Geralt in a trailer for Witcher 4. And they keep it on, you know, same like they did for Cyberpunk for 5 years. Non-stop gameplays and trailers with Geralt for Witcher 4. They're gonna sell. They're gonna sell it even more than Cyberpunk. Alright? Everyone's gonna forget about Cyberpunk. Insta forget.
Let's sum up what we know.
They got their
Seems
cards still.
Detlef's being blackmailed.
They're not
Someone's
done.
been feeding him his victims' names.
All noted down using one and the same Nazeri
Because
ink,
they got
and
rights to
not in his
Witcher.
handwriting.
Not much.
But enough to ascertain Detlef's innocence, clearly.
Actually, it is. Detlef's being manipulated. Some lunatics turned him into a tool, making him kill.
So it would seem. But this illuminates a path of action for us. We must find Renowed, render the blackmail senseless. The lunatic or ticks will thus lose hold on Detlef.
That's one idea. Could be worth a shot. But what about Detlef? He gonna go on killing while I'm out searching for his lover?
He will not. I shall convince him to stay his hand. Assure him you're a friend seeking to help. I'll await him here. He's sure to return sooner or later.
Think he'll listen?
He will.
Ought to wait with you, maybe.
No, he'll sense you from a mile off. Simply fail to appear. I'd better stay alone. You must trust me on this.
Fine. Need to report to the Duchess first.
So be it. We'll await you here. Detlef and I both.
Towards Duchess. Holy shit, 83 now.
Get off.
The Camerlengo best not be late with my pay.
Why am I going on foot? Although I could pass through here, maybe I get some side quests. I never pass through here on foot. I'm usually skipping everything with fast travel.
Keep calm.
Can I
So,
No problem.
Those noises again. I couldn't sleep.
What do you reckon? How long will I have the runs off that roast rat? Witcher, save us from the beast.
it will work out well.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Who the fuck eats a bread like that? Are you shitting me? He's like, nothing to see here. Oh my god. Oh.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
I knew it, I should have got on foot, okay? I will see the shit if I TP.
What a soft skip.
Ollie, Ollie! Accent free! Lepiotus wissen langs.
Listen, what I think about games overall for the next year. The next big, huge game that's gonna be great. Okay. There's only one. And if that fails, then everything else will fail.
Hey, Tony Champion.
The only game I have my hopes high right now, from everything that's gonna come out in the next few years, is Elden Ring. I really believe they're gonna do something special. They never failed, okay? That Miyazaki, he just never failed so far. From Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and now Elden Ring. He will make a good game. I'm quite sure of it. Game of the year. Everything else is debatable, but that one isn't. It's gonna be fucking great.
Hey, don't you step on me.
And what of the funeral?
Geralt of Rivia, Master Witcher.
I was not mistaken. You arrived and trouble followed soon after.
Step aside. Got a matter for the Duchess.
At last, Witcher. We've been on tenterhooks. Did you catch Milton's killer?
Case is more serious than we thought. The beast? I couldn't kill it. Didn't manage.
We sent you after a monster and you return with nothing? We are very disappointed.
Situation's not quite that simple. Beast's a powerful vampire.
Ha! Is this a problem? Is it too much for a witcher? A monster slayer? But everyone knows how to end a vampire. Draw him by trick into sunlight. Or arm yourself with ample garlic and drive a stake through its heart.
Garlic's useless against vampires. Sun and stakes don't hurt him either. Those methods, pure invention. Only work in legends and fables.
And buckthorn? When I was a child, Grandmama Ademarta always claimed buckthorn drives off vampires.
Silver sword's your best option for keeping them at bay. But it won't get the job done, because only a higher vampire can truly kill another of its kind.
Excuses. Ha! Your Grace, I shall assemble a battue. Bring the matter to its end at once. The Witcher need but tell us where to find this monster.
Go ahead. Send them to their death. Certain death.
To a lone Witcher, perhaps. To 40 of my men-at-arms, but another skirmish.
40, 50, 100? Doesn't matter. Won't make any difference against him.
You have not seen my guardsmen in action.
Can they fight fog? Hit a target that moves faster than the wind?
How? What creature can do such things?
Creatures like this one. Higher vampires, we call them. Each one's a little different. Unique or exceptional, you might say. Some transform into giant bats. Others communicate with animals, command them.
Yet all are still brainless beasts.
Dead wrong. Thinking of lesser vampires. Alps, Ekamaras, Catechans, for instance. They're ruled by instinct, sure. Attack anything that smells of blood. Higher vampires? They think. They employ reason.
Monsters driven by reason. A curious contention. What, then, do you intend to do?
It's way beyond being some monster. This is a powerful being that's walked the world for centuries.
Tja, impossible. If so great is their power, why have they not killed or enslaved us all?
Don't usually meddle in our matters. Mostly stay out of our way because they don't care about humans one way or the other.
And they do not fear we shall wipe them out one day.
They'd probably be pretty amused if you asked them that. They're well aware of their strength.
Then what can we do? Do you have a plan?
Try to talk to him. That's our best bet.
I cannot believe this. Her Grace summons a Witcher to kill a monster. Instead, he wishes to chat with it. Ha.
Know what I'm doing. His lover was kidnapped. He's being blackmailed.
Blackmailed? Be so kind as to explain how a vampire might be blackmailed.
Higher vampires? They're like us, motivated by emotions, not instinct. Not only are they intelligent to an extreme, they're emotionally rich. Capable of feeling many things, even love. This one fell in love with a woman, a human, and he'll do anything to keep her from harm.
You do not, I trust, suggest we let Milton's killer go free. Or wait until it murders again. We must render it harmless as quickly as possible.
Which is why that's my aim now, to prevent further attacks. Vampires only half the problem. Blackmailers at fault chiefly. Kidnap the woman to control the vampire.
And what do you propose to do?
I'll find the blackmailer, free the vampire's lover.
You were to destroy him, not help him.
No one else should die. That's most important. Soon as the woman's safe, he'll have no more reason to kill.
I admit to being swayed, Witcher. You may be right. Do you know anything about the blackmailer?
Got one lead. A few scraps of paper. Blackmailer wrote the names of the vampire's victims on them. One of them stained. A drop of wine, looks like. So damn little to go on.
You've no idea how wrong you are, my dear. Send for the ducal sommelier. Hop, hop! In Tucson,
gonna sniff it out.
wine is sacred. Here there is no such thing as a drop of wine, or stains therefrom. They are stains from a drop of Est, Ervelus, Fiorano.
Your Grace wished to see me?
Witcher, show him the paper scrap. Benoit, can you determine which wine made this stain?
Yes, yes. The west bank of the Saar too. That's rather obvious. Aged in barrels of Beauclair oak. Hue, deep burgundy. Clarity, high. It's simple. Saint Real, the 1269 vintage.
That's impossible. The wine is produced at Castel Ravello, especially and exclusively for the ducal table. Perhaps some Saint Real was stolen. We must go to the vineyard, see if there's not been an incident.
Saint Real. Never heard of it.
It's highly unlikely you've ever had a chance to partake of it. As I said, it is only ever served to the ducal family.
Didn't stop it from ending up on that scrap of paper. Unless your Grace's sommelier is mistaken.
In matters of wine, Benoit is never mistaken. If he says it's Saint Real, it is Saint Real. We must ride to Castel Ravello at once. Discover what has happened.
Wait. Your Grace wants to go with me? Out of the question.
I hope you do not suppose we will sit on our ducal hiney and do nothing while our duchy is in grave danger.
Your Grace, what you propose is far too dangerous. The Witcher should go alone.
It pleases me to see you gentlemen finally agree on something. But I've made my decision. We shall go, accompanied by the best possible escorts. You, Captain, and Geralt. We will travel incognito. We've no wish to give the court any reason to gossip. For the duration of this mission, I release you from your obligation to adhere to court protocol. In short, from now on, I am Anna Henrietta, not your Grace.
Yes, Your Grace. Witcher, are you ready?
Yeah, ready to go.
Excellent. Give me a moment. I must don something more appropriate and concealing. Then we will be off.
This vampire, have you ever faced its...
No, I haven't played Nier yet. I'm waiting for Neo 2, and I believe it's gonna be great. Elden Ring. Mechanics are gonna be on spot. Gameplay is gonna be on spot. Story, whatever. I wanna play a good game, okay? Cyberpunk had great story, and everything else sucked, right? I wanna play a game and let the story sucks. Don't give a fuck.
I have.
How did it end? Did you kill it?
Didn't have to fight him. Hadn't killed anyone.
Have you ever heard of anyone defeating such a vampire?
Know of a man who defeated one, sure, but he didn't manage to kill it. Ultimately, only another vampire can kill a vampire.
Hunters have attacked the wagon. We must help.
Stay back, Your Grace. We shall see to this.
Help! Save us! Thank you, beast!
This gets in the joke.
Help! Save us!
Done. Time to move on.
If not for you, we'd have been done for.
Thank you. You saved our lives.
Hooray!
Tell me more about this vineyard. Castel Ravello.
It's the best in all Toussaint. An old master of the winemaking trade runs it. Fabrizio.
He trustworthy?
He's held his post for years. There's never been a problem. Till now. I wish to know your thoughts, Geralt. The Sonreal stain, how did it wind up on the paper? Is someone from the vineyard blackmailing the vampire?
Could be a servant. Could be the steward. Could be the one who was just stolen from the estate.
We shall know when we arrive. It's not far now.
Slow now.
Captain de la Tour, we did not expect any visitors from the palace. How are affairs at court?
Doubtless you've heard of the Beast of Beauclair. Well, we've our hands full. Especially since the rogue last attacked in the palace gardens.
I trust Her Illustrious Highness was not harmed.
Kind of you to ask, Master Fabrizio. I am well.
Your Grace? We were not warned. I shall order the salon prepared at once.
That won't be necessary. As you can see, we are not here on an official visit.
Naturally. Might I ask then what has brought you to Castel Ravello?
Came to see you. Got some questions.
In this land, it is seen as polite to introduce oneself before asking any questions.
This is Geralt of Rivia, a witcher. He has come to Toussaint on my personal invitation.
Which is to say...
Which is to say, I expect you to treat him with the utmost respect.
Of course, Your Grace.
Did you hear that, Witcher? Fabrizio will be delighted to answer your every question.
Want to talk about Sonreal?
I am at your service.
Some of this wine might have been stolen. Just a suspicion we have, but any burglaries lately?
Burglaries? Not to my knowledge. And a few days past I took stock of the inventory. All was accounted for. The barrels lie safely in the cellar, I assure you.
Who hauls the barrels to the palace?
We've our own garrison. Guards who have served here for years and would answer with their heads for the wine.
We'll not get anywhere asking questions, I see. It's a waste of time.
Your Grace? How am I to understand this?
Master Fabrizio, we have proof someone's gained access to Sonreal. Someone who should not have. Which means one of two things. Either you lie to our face, or You are an idiot who has had wine stolen from under his nose and not even realized it. In either case, you shall answer for it.
But...
Silence! And listen. I shall inspect the barrels in person, thus giving you time to reflect. When I return, I expect to hear answers. Remind me, where is this Unreal stored?
In the main cellar, around the corner. I'll show you.
I shall find it. Give me the key to the cellar and wait here.
Oh, of course, Your Grace. Here it is.
Come, Witcher.
Your reputation precedes you, Geralt.
Come on,
We shall
Witcher.
wait here, Master Fabricio.
What if Fabricio's blackmailing the vampire? Considered that?
He has his flaws, but I would never suspect him of such a thing. He's been very loyal. He owes all he has to me. His father frittered away the family fortune. He left his son an encyclopedic knowledge of wine. That is all. Fabricio lived as a beggar until I appointed him steward of Castel Ravello. Only then did he come into his own.
So where do we start?
Let us see if all the barrels are present. Here's the inventory ledger.
Vintner's log. Fermentation completed with no complications. Tapped above sediment line. Here it is. Barreling. Everything lines up at first glance. Neatly and thoroughly documented.
Then we must follow our other lead. Benoit said the stain came from the 1269 vintage. Let's find it.
$12.69.
Ervelous. I like it. Quite dry.
An excellent wine. You've good taste. I have a feeling we'll find something awry.
Test.
Est. Think everyone and their mother's heard of this wine.
Among the best in the world. Castel Ravello is famous for it.
Fiorano. Dandelion's favorite. Adores it.
Ah, yes. That sophisticated palate of his.
Got Pomino over here.
The fuck is it? Sanreal.
Sanreal. 1270 vintage.
That's the wrong year. Keep looking.
No. Okay. That's the one.
Right here. 1269. What now?
Let's see if any barrels are empty.
Wanna open them?
For now, a knock will suffice. If you hear a hollow thud, we will have found what we seek.
Full. This one's full too.
This one is full.
This one's full too. Full. This one's full too.
You fucking shit.
Looks like all the barrels are full. Dead end, I'm afraid.
Full they are. The question is, are they full of Sanrial? Grab a tap and a hammer. We shall open them one by one and taste.
Ready. We can start. Ready.
Step aside.
So?
Slightly smoky, strongly tannic, definitely Sanrial.
You bitch.
Revolting, bitter plonk.
Could have gone sour while aging.
Impossible. This is not wine. This is contaminated refuse that should never have made it into a barrel. The fact that it did was no accident, I'm sure.
Master Fabricio. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Master Fabricio, I am very disappointed.
But, Your Grace,
You are a step away from losing your head. Speak the truth and you might yet keep it.
I admit it. I sold a barrel of Sanrial. I beg you to forgive me.
Why did you do it?
I couldn't resist. The sum they offered, it was enormous. I gave in.
Is what I provide not enough?
I wished to buy back my family's estate. For here, nothing is truly mine. I've a roof over my head, ample food to eat, but what is a nobleman without land of his own? I shall tell you everything, if you agree to show me mercy.
Who'd you sell the wine to?
A few weeks past at the pheasantry, a rich nobleman approached me. He called himself a diplomat, well connected at court. He suggested we embark on an enterprise. Some of his clients had offered dizzying sums for even a drop of Sanrial. He was to serve as intermediary.
This man's name?
He never revealed it. He was tall, black-haired, and spoke with a foreign lilt. He claimed to hail from Sintra.
I've no Sintrian aristocrat at court.
Really thought nobody'd find out.
I was a fool, very foolish. I beg you, Your Grace, you must forgive me.
Wine itself. How'd you hand it over?
We met under the cover of darkness in the ruins of Fort Astre. A dozen or so men came to collect. Armed men. The kind that stink of trouble. I had hauled the barrel there. They transferred it to their cart, and we went our separate ways.
That's it? That the last you ever saw of them?
That is to say, a few days passed. A messenger arrived. He said they wished to buy another barrel and, well, I've prepared it. Have it ready to deliver.
That's enough. Know all we need to know.
Your Grace, I beg your forgiveness.
Get out of my sight. Captain, have your men take Master Fabricio to the dungeon. He must answer for his crime. High treason the charge. What now, Witcher?
We set a trap. Need to catch the wine thieves. Sintrian Noble could be our blackmailer. Next, transport. I'll take it to Fort Astra. Damien and his soldiers will cover me.
For once, I agree with you. We will do as you say. Let me know when you are ready.
See no reason to wait. Let's get going.
We will set out now. Position ourselves before you arrive. You take the cart and meet us there.
Fine. When the handoff begins, watch for my signal. Relax. Now we wait.
Ah, our favorite vintner.
It's not him.
Motherfuckers. Omits. Orbits. Whatever.
Is it just me, or did we agree you'd wait for my signal?
That was the plan, but...
Great shot. Good thing you reacted. Can't say how that would have ended otherwise.
At your service. It was a good fight. We managed to capture one of the scoundrels.
Let's ask him a few questions. Come on.
Witcher, a moment. I was wrong about you.
Yeah, definitely better face animations than in Cyberpunk. 5 years older game has better face animations. From the same company. Unbelievable.
Don't need to like each other. Just gotta do our jobs.
If that's how you wish to treat it. At any rate, I see the effort you put forth. And I appreciate it. Let us go to her grace. She awaits nearby.
Wait, she here?
I hope you did not think I would leave this to you alone, especially when every hour could prove essential. This prisoner of yours, bring him to me. We must ask him some questions. Captain, do the honors.
Who sent you?
His name is Dog. They say he plowed your mother.
Once again, who sent you?
Your nun's lover. They call him...
Wait. He doesn't wish to speak. He needn't. I can think of several other ways he can be helpful. I'm certain the Witcher will need bait to lure the beast of Beauclair.
What?
Usually only take measures like that as a last resort, but in this case, think I can make an exception.
Do as you deem fit. He is all yours.
Captain, have your men find me a strong rope. Kind that won't snap when we hang this fellow from a tree.
Rope?
Live bait. Great for monsters, provided they catch the scent of its blood. But I'll see to that.
What? No. Crikey, no! Don't let him!
Stop screaming. Save your strength. Got a long night ahead of you.
No! Don't let him! I'll talk!
Barrels. Where were you gonna take them?
I don't know.
Captain, need that rope after all.
I truly don't know. Hornet's the leader, only he ever knew where to go. But he lies over there, dead. That one. The first barrel went to a warehouse at the port. But where this one was bound, I don't know. I speak true. You must believe me.
Who hired you?
He'll kill me.
Ought to be worried about me right now. Who is he?
Go on, man. Spit it out.
The Cintrian. That is what they call him. I've never seen him, but I know he mustered the men for this caper. That's what they said, that we were working for the Cintrian. I don't know anything else. I swear it.
Take him away. Throw him in the dungeon. He shall await trial there. Captain, we ride to town. Gather your men and seek out the Cintrian. Someone else must have seen him, must know of him.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll report to the palace as soon as I learn anything.
I shan't return to the palace. Our mission has not yet ended. The Witcher and I will await you at the guard post near the port.
I watched the game, play multiple times, good question. Either it's a good game or it's really stress and anxiety. There's nothing else to do, alright, during lockdowns, during this entire year, by the way. And when you see what I'll prepare very soon for Witcher, I'm gonna release it soon on my YouTube channel. Once I'm done with the game, you're gonna love the video.
Let's go to town.
You won't need to replay the game ever again. 84.
He's late.
Relax, he'll come.
There's something I'd like to know. How can you be so damned calm?
Side effect of my mutations.
No.
We
Nothing
witchers
to do
rarely
with
get the
reviews.
jitters.
No reviews, no guides. You'll see.
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Cintrian appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. We only learned of it through a fortunate coincidence. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally confident to blackmail such a monster.
Still don't know this Cintrian's behind the kidnapping and blackmail. Might have just handled the theft of the wine.
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine to the blackmailers. As I see it, that makes him an accomplice.
Need to find the Cintrian, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailer's identity. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Centurion does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee, lamed for life. And the word on the street is there's a hefty bounty on your head, Geralt.
Used to it. Not the first time I've been hunted.
Must you always? Now, the port warehouse where the wine was delivered, we identified it, then learned who had hired it out. This proved to be a beggar, a stand-in. We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Centurion accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. But she remembered his female companion very well, as she recognized her. On the Centurion's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard of her. She's said to be gifted, fairy.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there, but we questioned her servants. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Centurion gentleman tonight. She'd invited him to a reception mounted by the Mandragora.
The Mandragora? What's that?
A club, an affiliation of local artists. Painters, sculptors, troubadours and dancers.
Never heard of it.
They exude mystique, consciously, I think. Behaving like an exclusive cabal. Artistic elites. Every now and again they mount soirees. Only wealthy patrons are invited. All arrive in elaborate masks, then drink and flirt.
Gotta nab the Centurion. Seems we have to go to that get-together.
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Centurion truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend in with the crowd.
Precisely what we shall do.
We, Your Grace.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place. A residence in Oatville. It's a very distinguished district. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire. Then meet me in Oatville, in Mountebank Alley.
Oh, yeah. Put on clothes on Henrietta because they're appropriate for the
Audacious
soiree.
rat, the Centurion.
Soiree.
But we'll get him.
Be cautious. Guard her grace closely.
Audacious rat, the Centurion. But we'll get him.
Watch it, that's gonna take some time, Kenshin. It's a long review. Do I got a tire or not? Or I need to collect it. I need to collect it, hey? Yeah.
I should double them.
How far is it? I'm gonna go on foot. Why the fuck not? Don't need to use fast travel non-stop. Oh yeah, I got price on my head. Is that so?
Didn't look like locals. Damien's right. I'm a hunted man.
Doesn't look like Geralt.
A tip of the hat to the Tourneys victor.
Ah, easy.
Were you only in your pants, or is that a bug? I think it's a bug. What the fuck?
Here in Beauclair, all's right and fair.
No, Pecorito. Repent! Renounce your sins.
Yeah.
Damned.
Changes quest. It does that non-stop though. Strange bug. Pierre. It has to be Pierre.
It's a crime. You're from the north. That's painfully clear.
Excuse me?
There is no excuse. There is but the need to outfit you anew. My salon stands open. Please come in.
All jests aside, let me see what you got in your...
I'm more than willing, sir.
Pierre. Elegant Beauclair doublet. Elegant Beauclair boots. Beauclair trousers. Do I need a mask?
Thanks.
Ever your servant, sir.
Doesn't look that bad, okay. It doesn't look that bad. Better than Nilfgaardian outfits.
Nice tune.
Reginald Aubrey has returned, not to be missed. Buy your tickets now.
Oh, the Witcher. The one that Duquesa summoned.
The Witcher.
Late. Now, why does that not surprise me?
Well, well. I did not expect you to have such a sense of style. Not all bad. Nothing like a budding artist, of course, but... Just one other detail. Here, put it on.
A mask?
All who attend the Mandragora soiree wear them. If you have one on, no one asks who you are.
Any idea why they wear masks?
Likely because they imagine it oh so very romantic and mysterious. The truth is far simpler. This way, no one can tell which drunken aristocrats are pinching the performers.
Let's go. Soiree's started.
Mm-hmm. Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain.
We put all of those swords in our pants. Okay.
How do we find the Cintrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. As soon as we find her, we find him. Especially since he might be expecting us.
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was. Had it in for me.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
Tell us about these performances.
This evening, the Mandragora has the honor to present 3 superb displays of artistry. The first was a concert by Cecilia Belont, a singer whose voice, were it stone, would surely be a diamond. Sadly, Mademoiselle Cecilia has sung.
Shame. We would have loved to hear her.
Luckily, you are in time to see the great Calesti, a master of visual illusions, come to us from far off Afir.
Visual illusions. Interesting. And the third artist?
The third and fourth, for they are a duo, are the Tuven brothers, presenting their newest pantomime.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Belont.
You are admirers, I surmise. I'm certain you will have ample opportunity to converse with her.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her easily by the orchid.
Well, well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Kaveri Orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Cintrian.
Alright. Manual save. Listen guys, I'm dead bloody tired. We continue from here tomorrow. I wish I could play more, but I can't. I just don't feel well for the previous 10 days. Freaking COVID and everything that comes with it. Work on 10% of my energy non-stop. Since the moment I wake up till the moment I go to sleep. I got a fucking brain fog, alright? That's gonna be it, people. Thanks for watching. I wish you all good night. Hope to see you back tomorrow. Good night.